Al, we have done it.
We've done it.
We have reached the final episode of SHIROBAKO.
Woo! We're at the end.
23 weeks ago, we started this journey, and now we have come to the end.
I'm still terrified by the dolls.
Well,
How many
that's
times
still going to be a thing.
How many times will we make this joke before it gets old? Because the answer is never. It will never get old.
It's our season finale joke.
It will never get old.
That's how we do things around here. You should, if you have listened to all of these episodes so far, and if you have, congratulations. You have spent a lot of time with us. That's to be commended.
We appreciate it.
You should just expect it by now. Yeah, and if you're a newcomer, just expect it anyways by now as well.
Because it's a great joke.
It is a great joke.
It's unnatural.
You belong to me, I belong to you.
SHIROBAKO belongs to us?
Yes.
Woo!
I saw Boys to Men were trending on Twitter today.
Why?
They performed the national anthem at the NFC Championship game.
Oh. I have a story about Boys to Men I could tell you. I don't know if
Let's talk about Boys to Men.
It's a quick story. My brother did audio for a live performance with Boys to Men once.
Oh, that sounds rad.
Well, yes and no. So he did the audio, and he's like, yeah, so mostly they had like a backing track, but like I had to sit there and listen to their live vocals, and they were awful. He's like, it's so good that they had a backing track because then they didn't sound like hot garbage on the performance. But he's like, yeah.
How recent was this?
It was a few years ago.
That makes sense.
I mean, my brother's not that old that he would have been doing it in the 90s when they were.
Well, no. I know that. I just didn't know like how. Like long ago it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been like when he was in New York, I think.
That is, I mean, like if you're going to a Boys to Men concert, you're probably not going for their singing abilities in 2020. No offense to them, but like they are an older group.
Yeah.
And you usually are not going to older group shows for their abilities. You're going because, hey, I remember this group when I was younger. Let's go see them.
Yeah. Well, Keller says that their audio without the backing track is hot garbage, so now you know.
Anyways, let's talk about SHIROBAKO. Yes, we'll still make that joke. Welcome to episode 24 of Jared and Al Watch SHIROBAKO. I'm Jared, that is Doc Alley and Ladium.
Hello!
And we are here to discuss episode 24 of SHIROBAKO entitled The Delivery That Was Too Far Off, the season finale, or I guess series finale, essentially, of SHIROBAKO. We will have one more SHIROBAKO episode to do at some point because there is a movie. Mm-hmm. By the time we're recording this, it is not officially out. It'll be out in a month and a half in Japan. Mm-hmm. And then of course, we'll have to wait until it releases on home video for to see it eventually. But so we at least know there's going to be a finale to this. Unlike some series, say I'm in Crystal. So we will eventually come back to this by talking about the movie, but for the meantime, let's discuss the final episode of SHIROBAKO. Last week we had a big revelation. Things are looking on the upswing. Things are looking good. We might be able to end this series on a positive note. Mm-hmm. And we begin the episode. We're 3 weeks out from the delivery of the final episode. And basically, everyone is hands on deck to get this episode done in the remaining time that they have. Basically, a lot of this work is the extra scene that they added it in with the talk with the director and the author, because of course, like they didn't know about that scene until literally like the last episode, so they have to basically make that scene from scratch and everything, make that character from scratch and everything. So, got to do all that.
Takes a lot of work.
Yes, Emma requests specifically that she gets to work on that scene because obviously she wants to work on the scene that her friend voiced.
Yep.
Which is essentially, like, obviously, of course, that would be a thing. And basically, everyone else kind of gets split up into various little cuts here and there. A lot of people just, like, start showing up there to work on specific stuff. They give some, like, animal scenes to Sugi. Seigawa shows up, and the one guy who has beef with her, like, doesn't realize it's her at first. And then, like, looks at him and is like, whoa! And she's like, would you please stop? We are co-workers. Do not do this.
Calm down, sir.
Yes. Shizuka is able to get some more work doing some more minor voice roles. Like she gets to do like Girl C in some anime, but she's getting more, credited roles in the industry, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Misa's working on a jet at her workplace. Basically, everyone is just hands on deck and trying to get this final episode done. And then they reach the day of delivery. The episode gets complete. They watch the final cut of it essentially before they
have to deliver it.
Get it printed onto some various tapes and everything before getting it to the studios and everything. And essentially a lot of the producers and just some key members of the Musashino staff are split up and like, all right, you're going to this station in this part of the country. You're going to this station in this part of the country. You're going to this station in this part of the country. And that's basically what happens. Watanabe has this weird motorcycle with a sidecar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it looks like a motorcycle from the 50s.
Yeah, I was like, where did he get that? Why does he have that?
It's very strange. Aoi and Erika and Katsuragi also all go on separate trains to their various destinations. Katsuragi's just like having the hardest time. He's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like he eventually gets to deliver his tape and just like falls face first and like goes up to the counter. He's like, his glasses are broken, his nose is bloody. He's like, I've got the tape. He's like, oh god. Erika gets hers delivered pretty much fine, as does Watanabe. Aoi has some troubles because she has various transport delays because a snowstorm comes in while she is on her train, and they have to basically slow the train down a bit and do some stops because of weather delays and all that sort of stuff. She eventually gets like off the train and into like a taxi, and the taxi is stuck in bumper to bumper traffic, and she's like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, and then eventually she's like, hey, can I just get out? And the driver's like, I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, nope, fine, that's cool. All right, I'm out later. It just runs to the television station she has to go to. Reaching it on foot, just like out of breath, like, oh god, oh god.
Which, like, I mean, I would be too.
The wildest part about this episode, though, in terms of the delivery portion of it, is that they also have another person doing delivery of an episode.
I didn't expect this one.
And that's the manager lady. And they're like, oh, we have a secret weapon to make sure all of our tapes get delivered. And like, she just shows up and like in her car and everything. And like, they just toss her tape. She's like, all right, this is where I gotta go. Got it. Puts on like driving gloves and then just like peels out. And then everyone's like, what? And then just like you just see various scenes of her just like speeding through the countryside, like drifting through various roads. And then at one point there are like 9 cops on her.
Yep.
It's just like, what is happening?
That was something I did not expect, honestly.
Yep. I told you at one point we would get weird backstory about her, and here we are.
Yeah.
She's able to deliver her tape, and then like she comes out of the TV station, and the cops are all just like guns pointed at her, and then like the sergeant cop is just like, "Oh, it's you," and she's like, "Oh, you got promoted, did you? Congratulations!" It's like, what did you do?
I did not expect this, and like the fact that she just got away with it like is amazing.
Yep. I heard the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift was originally about her, but they had to change it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes total sense.
She used to hang out with Bow Wow in his Incredible Hulk car.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, Bow Wow has a car that it looks like the Incredible Hulk.
Bow Wow as in Little Bow Wow?
As in Little Bow Wow. He probably was Little Bow Wow when that film came out.
Oh my god.
It is a great piece of cinema, the best Fast and Furious film.
Oh my god.
It's great. If you're not in control, you're out of control. But essentially everyone gets the tape delivered. The episode is able to air in all the various parts around the country on time and everything. And the end of the episode is basically, here's a huge celebratory party for the series wrap up and everything. Everyone just gets to kind of finally breathe a huge sigh of relief. Aoi kind of comes in late because she's, late from delivering, and then just like she comes in, is like, I'm out of breath, oh god, and the director's like giving a speech. He's like here's Aoi,
your turn.
Your turn to talk. She's like, huh? And she
then,
like goes to walk, and wow.
I was gonna say, like, the crazy spotlights that are in this room that like somehow they have spotlights that can just go wherever you want, like in this tiny celebration room that it's like, hey, you get to speak, and then the spotlight's on her like in the back of the room, and I'm like, wait, what?
What is happening?
It's amazing they had that prepped already.
Yep. She falls on her face and then has to get up and give a speech, and she's like, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to say, hey, thanks to everyone for working hard. Everyone here worked hard. I didn't realize that there were so many people who worked on the show. That's crazy. You all worked very hard. I'm proud of all of you. We all did a really good job. Yay.
Yay.
Good
Please
job,
just let
everyone.
me breathe and have some water.
Yes. I need to take a breather. Oh God. And then kind of like just the rest of the shots are just like, here's a bunch of random people talking with each other, just having conversations and whatnot. Just some very odd pairings with each other. It reminded me a lot of just like the party scene in Trails of Cold Steel 3, where you get just all these weird groups intermingling with each other that you would never expect.
I could see that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely could see that.
At one point, you see Watanabe and Katsuragi talking about they have 2 new series lined up for Musashino, and like one of them's like, yeah, we're gonna go work on Two Piece.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then I think the other one was like an original anime that the director is doing and whatnot. And there's more mingling amongst the people, and then you see like out on like this balcony area, our 5 girls just chilling by themselves.
Actually, before we do this, did you say the director's doing an original thing?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. Like, it means that he's definitely overcome his like jiggly whatever trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Like he feels confident now that he can do things again after the last one, and this one succeeded.
And also just like the idea that like people would be confident in him as well, just to be like, to give him the opportunity to even do that kind of
right.
Because like he's proven himself with Exodus, he's proven himself with Third Girls Aerial Squad. Like obviously now, like nowadays, like you could look at him and be like, oh, this is the guy that won, you know, they showed in a very early episode, like he won that like newcomers award. Like this is the guy we thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Like that guy is now back.
Coming out of the jiggly shadow.
Yes.
Anyway, 5 girls on the balcony.
He's coming out of his jiggly cage and he's doing just fine.
He's just bouncing things off his belly.
Gotta be down because he wants it all.
God.
But yeah, the 5 girls just, you know, they chit chat on the balcony. They're having drinks and everything, and they're like, "Oh man, it'd be great if we had donuts." And now he's like, "I got donuts."
Donuts.
The meeting of the Don Dons. They talk about their original high school anime, and they're like, "Oh man, you know, just imagine if we could do that now. Like, think of how much we can improve upon that." And everyone kind of like gives their own take of like, "Oh, I could do this better. I could do this better. I could do this better." And just like, you know, reminiscing about it and talking about how much they've improved upon everything, and just having a good time and everything, and just being happy. Mm-hmm. They're all getting to work in the same industry together now.
Yay.
You get a big shot of like the boat with all their characters flying by them again, I think.
Yo, so
big aqua boat.
I think I've probably mentioned this before, and I know I mentioned it to you, but like
you've mentioned it on an episode. I remember editing that and being like,
pretty sure she has some kind of like schizophrenia that's like making her see because this is not normal.
I'm going to disagree with you and just say it's just dramatic effect, but
but what if that's what makes her really, really good at what she does, is that she has these weird creative visions.
I mean, she does have her conscience animated as just these weird dolls. So.
Ugh, I hate the dolls. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that become animate or just are not there and become there, like, throughout the series. And I'm going with that theory. I mean, like, that would actually be an interesting thing to have, like, someone who is mentally ill in the anime industry and doing fine. Just saying.
I don't think you're going to get that from this, though, is the thing.
I know.
But yeah, that's essentially how we wrap the series up. You get a big group photo with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Someone gets like a fake Dreamcast.
Oh, right.
Because that's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's SHIROBAKO.
Yay! Celebration.
We have finished the series, and then obviously, like I said, next we have a movie afterwards. which is coming out on February 29th, 2020 in Japan. I don't know when this would go up, if that would be around this time. What episode did I just edit? I edited 18, so this would be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So the movie would have come out this past Saturday in Japan.
What interesting timing.
Yeah, pretty good timing on our part there.
Nice.
So yeah, the movie will have aired at this point. Stuff will probably have come out about it. There is a brief synopsis here that I will read to you.
Mm-hmm.
Not really spoilery or anything, but just give you a rundown of what exactly this film is going to be about. The film's story is set 4 years after the events of the original Shirobako. Aoi Miyamori keeps busy dealing with the ordinary troubles in her daily work at Musashi no Animation. After a morning meeting, Watanabe talks to Aoi and puts her in charge of a new theatrical anime project for the studio. The project has unexpected problems, and Aoi is unsure if the company can proceed with a theatrical anime with its current state of affairs. While dealing with that anxiety, Aoi meets a new colleague named Kaede Miyai. She and the Musashi no Animation team work together to complete the project. There's a poster where it has all the central characters on it. There's a car, and then your favorite dolls are in the top right corner.
No. No. So they're like in their like mid 20s now in the movie? It's 4 years later?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yay, I can math. Sometimes.
But also, it's interesting that, Aoi's still at Musashi. Well, that's not interesting that she's still in Musashi, but like, an essential theme of this whole series is that like, she's doing production, but she's still not really sure if that's exactly what she wants to do.
Right.
And that seems to be like she's still kind of in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
In this where this film is taking place. So I wonder if we're gonna really see like that really addressed at any point.
Yeah, because it kind of gets dropped a bit in the series. That it's not a bad thing, but like she never really comes up with like, this is my answer.
Right. Basically everyone is returning for this. So a lot of the same characters. 5 girls are back. Erica's back. The new girls will be back. Ai's back, which I know you're very going to be happy about.
Yes.
Watanabe, Taro, Hiroka, the director. So essentially most of the characters you know from the series will be back. The new girl is voiced by Ayane Sakura. She voiced, you will know this, Eleonora in Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Ooh! Yay! Hollywood.
Miss Hollywood herself. But yeah, that's Shirobako.
Yep.
That's it. That is it.
We did it.
We did it. Of course, as we usually do with these wrap-up episodes, because this is your first time watching, give us your takes on the show as a whole, what you thought coming into it, how that differed or exceeded your expectations and whatnot. Give us the rundown.
I wasn't really sure what to think going into this, because like all I knew was it was one that you really liked. You had like recommended it to me, and it was on my like Verve account.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the art's really cute. I like that. And you said, hey, it's got girls supporting girls. I'm like, yes, I'm about that life. So, I really didn't know what to expect going in. One thing that I got out of it that really was unexpected for me is anxiety.
Yeah.
Oof. There were so many episodes that was just like, it's terrifying. Like the crunch, it really gave me a new perspective on crunch. Like I already hated it, and I think it's a very bad practice, but like now I'm like, ooh, like that is rough. I can see that's very detrimental too. I don't like the dolls at all. They creep me out. So like anytime they show up, I'm just like, oh God, please go away, please go away, please go away. I do really like the art style. I think the art is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And overall the story was interesting. I liked seeing how these characters grew, and there were some moments in there that was like, I really think that that's a great thing. Like the armor episode,
Mm-hmm.
like I have outside reference that now to you, because I was like, yay, armor! I need to find my armor. But I do really like it. I think that it's a very cute show, but also a very stressful show.
Now for the hard thing.
Okay.
Where does this rank amongst the other Jared and Al watch series?
Yeah, that is hard. Well, it does not top Love Live Sunshine. It does not top K-On!
So third?
I could say third, probably.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there's less like irritating moments in this. Like anxiety and irritation are two different things, but and I experience anxiety all the time anyway, so like it's not unusual for me. I just don't usually experience it while watching shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like there can be like tense moments in shows. I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting, but like I've never actually experienced like a feeling of real anxiety while watching a show before like that.
Yeah.
Whoa. So that was new and wild for me. Also, you know what? I'm really, really into their dedication to donuts.
It's really good. Donuts are good.
Donuts are great. I love donuts so much. I would like donuts right now.
They're pretty all right.
They're really good. I do just want to like punt that one butthole into the sun though. That's a bad character. He sucks. He doesn't deserve to be friends with Taro?
Yes.
He doesn't deserve to be buddies with him. Taro's too good for him. And I've mentioned like that arc is just phenomenal, like how Taro grows and becomes like a significant and important character in the show. So yeah, the writing on this is great, and it did become a little bit overwhelming at times because there were so many characters.
Yeah, that's totally a valid thing.
Like, who are you?
It's a lot of characters.
A lot of characters. So I don't remember anybody's name. Like I remember like Emma, and I remember Aoi, and I remember Taro now because I just said his name, but I probably will forget it once we finish recording.
But like those are the characters you see probably the most in this series.
Erica?
Or some of them, yeah.
That's one. That's the blonde one, right? With ponytails? Yes. Okay. Yeah, so that's really it. So there were a lot of characters, and I forgot most of their names.
It's a lot of characters.
Ai's in there.
Yes.
She's adorable.
Good.
So yeah, what do you think on your rewatch of it?
I think like the most prevalent thing to come out of it, like watching it nowadays, is just like how much of a crunch culture is like just adamant in this series, and how much like you kind of like 4 or 5 years ago would just kind of glossed over that. Like you still would be like, oh yes, crunch culture is a thing in Japanese culture, but like nowadays it's like it's not just Japanese culture. It's
it's everywhere.
It's this industry and other adjacent industries as well that are very much affected by this. It's still very good. I still very much enjoyed rewatching it again, which I was glad because I didn't want to like go back to it again and be like, oh man, this isn't as good as I remembered or anything like that.
Yeah, that's always hard when you do that.
Yeah. And yeah, the scene in the penultimate episode still hurts me. So that is a thing. I would say if you like this show, PA Works or you and anyone else.
Okay.
PA Works a few years after SHIROBAKO made a similar series called Sakura Quest, which is it's essentially kind of like a spiritual successor to SHIROBAKO in a way, where it's like this is a show based around 5 girls doing work in a specific industry.
Huh.
And it's very good as well. So.
What industry is that?
It's like, let me see if I can. It's they work as like a tourism board. Like they're trying to like they go to this one town because of like a mistake the main girl does, and essentially she gets kind of wrapped up in like trying to revitalize this town that's very like small and is kind of like becoming more filled just with like old people, and like young people just don't want to go to it and everything, just trying to find ways to revitalize the town, make it like accommodable to like younger folks, make people want to come to this town essentially. So yeah, it's very interesting, but also like fits kind of like the same dynamic that SHIROBAKO did, just a different industry and everything, but also just it's very good as well. So
cool.
There's that.
Yay.
But like we said, this is it for a good while for Jared to now watch SHIROBAKO until we are able to watch the film, which means if I look at my watch, which is not on my hand or anything, I'm just looking at my wrist.
Just keep your watch on your hand.
No, I don't even wear a watch, so.
I wear a watch.
That means we are done with season 4 of Jared to now watch, which means you want to do another season?
Yeah, what do they have to look forward to, Jared?
Well, there is a certain series that we did that was a sequel series. And you still haven't watched the original yet.
I have not.
And we're going to take some time out and watch the original series. Watch the dub version of it, which is going to be very weird I think it's going to be weird for both of us.
Yeah.
Essentially because we looked at the dub cast and we're like, this, on paper, this is a really good dub cast. But are they casting the right roles?
Yeah, that's very questionable.
And also it is a group of characters that we are way more familiar with, like their Japanese voice cast, than we would be with their English voice cast.
Correct.
So we are going to go back in time. I'm gonna go back in time.
Good.
Oh, we just like to make references on this show.
Apparently.
To the year 2013.
Wow. That's the year I graduated with my master's and started my PhD.
That's the year I went back to college.
Woo! Milestones.
Yes. The second oldest series that we have done so far. We are going to watch Love Live School Idol Project. The original series, the first series. We're going to learn about Muse. Well, I guess you're going to learn about Muse. You're going to learn more about Muse, I should say, because you know about Muse.
I do know about Muse.
I'm going to see their trials and tribulations and see how it basically differs from Sunshine and everything, which is going to be very interesting to hear your opinions about this, because you're coming to this after watching Sunshine, not prior to watching it. Yes. So like, how is that going to, like, the similarities and differences, how you feel about them essentially. So that will be what will be coming at you next week as we give you Jared and I watch Love Live episode 1, season 1.
We will, I guess, eventually prep for the next Love Live.
Yeah. So I guess that is also a good thing to mention, because since this is a 26 episode series, they are doing an anime for the Nijigasaki girls. Whenever that series debuts, we will interrupt our current Jared and Al Watch series, and we are going to do a special Jared and Al Watch of that series as it is airing.
Yes.
Like, concurrently. So that will be the first time we will be doing essentially like a live version of the show, as it, as we're doing it part and part while the series is airing currently. So at some point this might get interrupted, so it'll be a double version of Love Live, but we will commit to doing all 26 episodes of Love Live and the movie, because of course we have a movie to watch afterwards. We don't have to wait for it.
Yay!
So that is our next topic. So yeah.
Get ready for more Love Live.
Get ready for more Love Live. Exactly. But if you'd like more from us, go to seasonlimitcheckup.com or sec.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Season Limit Checkup and Jared Now Watch. Nope, Season Limit Checkup, Season Limit Check OVA. I knew I was going to mess that up at some point. You can find columns reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns reviews. And you can follow us on Twitter.com/animecheckup. So join us next week as we dive into episode 1 of Jared and Al Watch Love Live with season 1, episode 1, entitled "Come True, Our Dreams."